Welcome to Penetration Testing Phases, Discovery. This video will come to you in two parts. The first part is going to be learning what vulnerability analysis is and its role in pen testing, and then we'll introduce Raul, who is a Systems Information and Event Manager with IBM, who will discuss how we go about discovering information. We're going to learn about different methods, the role social engineering plays, as well as different scanning tools that could be used. Let's get started. Before running a penetration test, doing a vulnerability scan can help identify outdated software versions, missing patches, and misconfigurations and validate compliance with or deviations from a security policy. This is largely important because we want to have an aim, right? We don't want to go into a discovery phase blindly. So we use a specific tools. There are lots available out there to do a vulnerability scan. Now, how it works is it identifies the operating systems and major applications that's being used on the host, and it matches it with known vulnerabilities from the tool's vulnerabilities database. So it does the scan and says, here's everything that exists on the system. Here are all the known vulnerabilities. And now we have a starting point when we do our discovery phase. To start our discovery phase, as promised, I'm going to turn it over to Raul, who will begin discussing the different tools and methods to gather information.
When we're talking about reconnaissance, we're talking about the different methods where we can get information from our objective, be it a specific server or be it the company itself. One of the first items that we might go through is Google Docs. Google Docs are special commands we can use on Google to get more information about an item. We can search inside of the web page of the company, try to get into the internet if they have open server. Some companies use Google as their internal search engine, and we can perform some data analysis by using a couple of Google commands. We can use a passive recon, which basically is observing people in the company if we're going to check the vulnerability of a building or a physical facility. Or we can use listeners on the outside of the network and check what they're sending to other people. We can use an active recon, which will be Nmap in network, checking out their open ports. We can start using a bunch of tools, trying to use a Hail Mary attack on the web page. We can try to actively look for vulnerabilities. Now, an active recon is a very loud way to say we're watching you. I wouldn't recommend it unless it's in a very discreet way. The last part is basically ask the employees. Sometimes you can get most information of an employee by using social engineering. You can pretend to be someone important, pretend to be a client, get some information in very aggressive ways. Some people will go as far as bribing an employee for inside information. Or some of the tools we're going to use. Nmap is a free network mapper, but if you have a better tool for it, go for it. And network analyzer, if we capture some packets inside of the network, you can analyze them using Wireshark or using any other analyzer tool that you have at disposal. If you are lucky enough to be able to retrieve a copy of the password file, you can crack it using a password cracker. An example here is John the Ripper, which is one of the oldest one. And a hacking tool, well, right now you can go to a WASP and check out the latest tools. Myself, I use Metasploit as a hacking database and tool repository.